Hey, what's going on? How's it going? Good afternoon from Virginia Beach. I'm out here on my lunch break, and today I want to talk to you about why is it some people know how to lose weight but still can't get results? Why is that? That's some confusing stuff, isn't it? I see it all the time. Like, for example, I was in Guam, and I remember this one lady I was talking to, and she was, we were talking about losing weight because she knew I was into that stuff, and I had been cutting, I had bulked up and cut down, and so she was asking me about it. She was saying, well, what's the secret to losing weight? And you're like, well, blah, 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 there's a lot to it, but, at the end of the day, I can sum it up and say, energy in versus energy out. Calories in versus calories out. Whatever. Energy in versus energy out. It's all about if you eat less, then if you take in less calories than your body uses, you will lose weight. Essentially, right? If you want to make it as simple as possible. Well, no one wants to hear that crap. And I want a magic pill. I want a magic fruit. Give me something simple. I don't want to hear that diet and exercise crap. Screw that. That's nothing new. I've been learning that since I was a baby. That doesn't work. I don't. That, right? Well, let me just say this. Okay? She was trying that. Okay? So she tells me, she says, well, I'm trying to lose weight. I've been taking in I only take in 1,000 calories a day, maybe 800. And I work out. I work out every day in the gym. But I just don't lose weight. How interesting, right? Because we just talked about energy in versus energy out. And it sounds like this lady knows what she's talking about. She's doing energy in versus energy out. She's taking in a calorie deficit. She's even going to the gym and working out to burn more calories. So why is it she was not getting the results? I mean, imagine her frustration. She's frustrated. She's looking at me with this desperation in her eyes. It's hidden behind her eyes because she truly wants to lose the weight and she wants to feel good about the way she looks. But she's stuck. She's discouraged. She's been trying this and she's not getting results. Right? So why is that? Why is that? So when you really think about it, it comes down to, let me explain why. Okay. I'm a golfer. I don't know if you golf, but I did a lot of golfing. I got really good. I was breaking freaking. I didn't start playing until I joined the Navy, and at one point I was breaking 80. Well, almost. I was like right at 80. But still, that's pretty damn good if you know anything about golf. It's really hard to do. I started out, I was over 100. I was like 110, 20, and I got down to 80 strokes. So 80 strokes, right, to play a game of golf. There's 72 strokes they consider par for the course, typical par. 18-hole course is 72 strokes total for the entire 18 holes. It's very hard to do. I was doing almost 80 strokes, just barely above par. When I started, I was at 120. Okay? Just to give you an example if you don't know anything about golf. But anyway, when I first started golfing, God, I mean, I actually played for years and years. I started playing as a kid with my father. And I had this wicked slice. And if you don't know what a slice is, it's when you hit the ball, you want it to go straight and land here. However, when you hit it, it goes okay, wicked slice. It would go up this way, turn right, and go bam out into the middle of the freaking woods or way out in no man's land, right? I didn't know how the hell I was doing that. It was every time I hit my drive, it would slice like 75 yards. We'd spend, let's say we went out to play golf 18 holes. We'd spend 4 hours on the golf course. 2 hours was looking for my ball. because it was always out and freaking out of bounds. And that was part of the reason I had 120, is because I was always, when you go out of bounds, it counts as 2-stroke penalty. So anyway, I had this wicked slice. And guess what happened? It went on for years, right? And then finally I was at the driving range when I was stationed in Washington State, right? And beautiful course, beautiful, beautiful course. If you know anything about Washington State, it rains all the time. 6 months out of the year. If you don't like the rain, you're not going to like Washington State. But the golf courses are beautiful. Because of all the rain, they're so green. The woods are beautiful. Anyway, I was on this driving range, and I went out there every day after work. And there's this normal day out in the driving range. This guy comes up to me, and he says, hey, you know, I noticed you got a slice there on your swing. And I said, oh, yeah. And he's like, well, you know, all you got to do is just, when you swing, you know, you're opening your wrist up. So when I was holding the club, pretend I'm holding the club in my hand, right? And so when I come around like this, right? When I was coming around the club, my arm was actually like that. So the club face was open, right? When I hit it, the club face was open, hitting the ball open instead of flat. So when I came through, it sliced. Because when you hit a ball at an angle, it puts a spin on it. And then he said, all you got to do is just turn your wrist over. So when you come down, turn your wrist over, club face will flatten out, and it'll go straight. I had been having a slice for freaking 8 years to this point. He comes over, tells me one little thing. My slice was gone. Permanently. Now I had the opposite. I had a draw. I was going too much, and the ball was going the opposite direction. Took me a while to straighten it out, but I did eventually. It turned out that guy, he was a pro. He was a licensed pro. He used to play in the PGA. Got to know the guy. He actually helped me with a lot with my golf swing. He was out there a lot, and he just gave me tips because he enjoyed it so much. He didn't actually charge me anything. It was weird, but it was cool. It was great. He changed my golf game forever after that. After I met that guy, it was incredible. But the point I'm trying to get across is I was struggling with my golf swing for 10 years. Maybe I should have read a book or watched a video. And, you know, back then YouTube wasn't this thing like it is now. Right? I'm not that old, though. But come on. You know, but I mean, it just wasn't when I grew up. Shit, we didn't have phones in school. Anyway, I don't want to get off track. But, one little detail. And it came from a guy that had been doing it his whole life and had mastered it. He had internalized the golf swing, and he could just see me, and he just could tell me what I did wrong. That's simple. So the reason I tell you that, and we're talking about weight loss, is for her, it's the same concept. Okay? She had learned that she needed to take a calorie deficit. She had learned that she needed to exercise. The same shit we've been told since we were in grade school. Diet and exercise to lose weight, right? It's not necessarily the case. I got a way better method than that I've developed over my years. And I've internalized weight loss, right? So I could come up to her and I could give her one little tip that would change her whole thing, right? If I just looked at her swing, the way that she was swinging the golf club, in this case, the way she was doing her diet and exercise, and I could have tweaked one little thing, and the weight would have started coming off, right? Now, how do you get to that point? How do you know, what am I saying? You got to go get a personal trainer to freaking professional nutritionist to tell you what you're doing wrong? No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, as long as if you just knew the information, it's easy. You just know it. When I go to swing the golf club, I don't think about turning my hands over anymore. I just do it. I don't even think about anything when I swing the golf club, and I kill it. I got like a 320-yard drive. You don't believe me? Ask my dad. Drive that shit far, baby. But I don't think about it anymore. Right? Same thing with weight loss. I started the weight loss journey like that 4 years ago, but the difference was I studied my ass off. I went through every course. I learned from people that were pros about this, and I got all the knowledge. I went through courses, government courses. I learned from everybody I could. And then eventually I internalized weight loss. And I had the entire concept inside my brain, just like the golf swing, And now I'm able to just lose weight. I don't think about it. Nothing. It just comes off. And I've developed a course, an 8-week course that you can follow. You just sign up on my waiting list right now over at internalizeweightloss.com. Just put your email in. You'll be on the waiting list. And guess what? You can internalize weight loss in 8 weeks. The same stuff that took me over 4 years to figure out, you can do in 8 short weeks by following this program. I put a lot of thought in this program. The implementation, the way that it's going to be explained is so simple. It's so easy to understand. It's not difficult. None of this stuff is difficult. The only time stuff seems difficult or hard is because someone that's explaining it hasn't done it themselves. Right? Someone doesn't truly understand it. They haven't internalized it themselves. When you speak to someone that's truly internalized something, the concept seems so simple, it blows your mind. You're like, really? God, that was so simple, the way he just explained that. To give you an example, I'm in IT, right, in the Navy, and I know a lot about computers, right? And so I remember before, I didn't really understand, like, how a computer worked. Like, okay, it's this piece of equipment, it does a bunch of shit, but I don't know the mechanisms behind it. That shit's way complicated, son, right? But if you were to ask someone that didn't truly understand the difference between like a hard drive and a RAM card in a computer, maybe you don't understand. So let me pretend I'm explaining that to you right now as someone who doesn't understand myself, right? So the hard drive, it comes in different sizes. It's like a 64 gigabytes. Can store a lot of data. They've got different RAM horsepower speeds. They can spin at different ratios, and the speed actually improves the amount of the right pace and everything else. And if there's going to be errors that pop up, the RAM card actually stands for random access memory. It's more of they have volatile state. They can, they're more of when a program loads, they load their data points into this section of the computer's RAM card where the data is simultaneously blah 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 blah. Put you to sleep with that shit, right? What I'm trying to say is that sounded complicated as hell. I was more confused listening to myself talk just now than I was before I even knew what a computer was. Now let me change the way somebody that truly understands computers and see if this makes more sense. Okay? So let me try. Okay. So, hard drive and a RAM card. Okay, the easiest way to understand this concept is a hard drive is like, just think of it as your long-term memory in your brain. You've got those memories in your brain that you keep for a long, long, long time. Like maybe when something traumatic happened to you as a child, that shit went right into your long-term memory, right? It was permanently ingrained in you. You never forget that, right? It's in your brain forever. I'm sure we all have situations like that. You can remember something that's just always in your brain, right? That's your long-term memory. But we have two types of memory. We have long-term and we have short-term. Okay, the short-term part of your memory is like the RAM card. Long-term is the hard drive. Short-term memory is the RAM card. What does that mean? That means when I learn something new, like if I just now told you that onegai shimasu is a Japanese word for please help me. Onegai shimasu, please help me. You can say that right now. Onegai shimasu. Hey, I know Japanese. Onegai shimasu. Onegai shimasu. Or arigatou gozaimasu. Arigatou gozaimasu is thank you. Thank you. Arigatou gozaimasu. That just went into your short-term memory. Right now, arigatou gozaimasu, thank you, is in your short-term memory. Wait 2 hours and see if you still remember that shit. Okay? Because that shit will just disappear. It doesn't go into your long-term memory unless it gets transferred over, right? Well, that's the same shit that a hard drive and a RAM card do. Long-term and short-term memory. Bam! How about that? Easy to understand, right? Tell me that wasn't easy. That's how weight loss is. It's freaking easy to understand. As long as you know someone that understands it, it's easy. Nothing's difficult. You don't need to starve yourself. You don't need to freaking limit certain types of foods. You don't need to freaking do any of that shit. You just need to understand the concept. Once you understand the concept of weight loss, you can do anything. Eat whatever you want. Doesn't matter. The weight will come off. All right. Well, look, take care. Hope this helped. If it did, share it. See if you can help someone else. I would really appreciate it. And so would they. All right, take care. Have a great day.